Hey wonderful humans, welcome back to another Vinyasa yoga practice. And if I haven't met you before, it's so great to be here with you. My name is Sarah. Today's class, we are going to be twisting quite a bit. We're going to be playing on our hands quite a bit, so strengthening the shoulders, strengthening the core, and a little bit of the lower body. We are working up into three peak poses in particular. Our Parsva Kakasana, our side crow, which is an arm balance that requires twisting through the spine. Our Makurasana, which is our crocodile pose, all on the hands, and also our Galavasana, which is another kind of variation of our crow pose with some funky legs. There's going to be lots of options for where you want to take it today, but just know that there are opportunities to play. And I thought before we get started that I would bring in what is the meaning of Vinyasa yoga. What is Vinyasa? And I'm sure from your own experience, from practicing Vinyasa yoga classes, you might understand that compared to other forms of asana, it's a little bit more flowy. There's a big focus on linking breath to movement and the transitions between asanas rather than just the asanas themselves, which in more hatha styles or even yin styles is generally just about the poses. And that's one kind of aspect that we can take from Vinyasa yoga. Another is that Vinyasa Krama yoga directly translates to kind of placing in a special way or breaking down things step by step. And so what that means is that Vinyasa yoga is a journey to a peak pose, a peak flow. And within that peak, there are certain muscles, there are certain ways of moving that we need to be activated. And so the process leading up to that is very specifically designed so that when we meet the top, we are warm, we are ready, both in our body, but also in our mind. Now, Vinyasa yoga is a more modern style of yoga. Actually, asana has only really come around in the last, couple of hundred years compared to the yoga practice. As meditation and pranayama, that's been around for thousands of years in philosophy. But Vinyasa yoga was kind of brought over by this man called Krishnamacharya, who was studying yoga within India. So around about kind of the 1920s, 1930s, around the early 1900s, that's kind of when it was designed. Anyway, I'm really excited to get into it. So let's head down onto our backs. Roll yourself down. And we will just take a moment to check in before we begin to move. So try and connect with the breath here. Like I mentioned just then, breath is really important in our Vinyasa yoga practice. And if we are beginners, oftentimes we lose the breath or we notice that we're not breathing. And that's totally okay, It's not very often where we are conscious of our breath before coming into potentially a yoga practice or another form of practice. But as we start to progress and start to practice more, the breath becomes a little bit more prevalent, a little bit more, you don't have to think about it as much, although most of our attention, or at least most of our attention, should be on the breath as we practice. Let's take about 4 more deep breaths here. Noticing how deep you can breathe within the thoracic cavity. So trying to breathe into the diaphragm or letting the diaphragm drop down, letting the ribs expand outwards and upwards and backwards, letting the chest rise high. Feeling the exhale pull you in, letting go of all the oxygen in the lungs. 2 more breaths. And then when you're ready, just slowly start to bring the knees towards the chest, taking the hands around the shins or the knees and just giving yourself a little squeeze. Maybe a little rock from side to side if that feels good. We're going to get straight into, we're going to throw ourselves into the fire pretty much, getting the core really active and warm. So when you're ready, start to lift the chin towards the chest, shoulders start to come off the ground. Keep the knees bent, but see if you can bend the elbows and press them down onto your thighs. So you can already start to feel that activation through the abdominals when you bring that pressure. Lower back towards the ground. Take a big breath in as you extend your right leg out long. Exhale to pull it in. If your elbows don't touch, that's totally cool. Just action the elbows towards the thighs. Inhale to extend the left leg out long. Exhale to pull it in. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, pull it in. Exhale, left leg. Can you squeeze that right elbow a little bit more? Exhale, pull it in. 4 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Get the lower back towards the ground. Exhale. 2 more. So this is what's called a dig bug, and you can kind of understand why if you looked upside down, or if you looked at yourself right now, you'd probably understand. Bring the left foot back in. This time, turn your chest towards the right, press the palms together, press the left elbow towards the right thigh. Breathe in, extend the left leg out. Exhale, pull it back in, switch over, right elbow to thigh. Inhale. Exhale. A couple more times. See if you can lift the shoulders off the ground a little bit higher. So this rotation is going to start to engage the obliques a little bit more, the sides of the core. Let's try about 1 more each side, finishing with the twist towards the left. Oh my goodness, I can already feel the shaking, or I felt it about a minute ago. Roll yourself down. Good job. Bring the feet close towards the hips, hands by the sides. Start to press through the heels, lift the hips up high. Setu Bandhasana. Track the knees out over the toes, squeeze the glutes here, activating the back of the body. Take a big breath in. Exhale, lower the hips towards the ground. Bend the right knee, left leg extends long on the ground. Hand to thigh, drop the right knee towards the left. Right shoulder extends out, right hand extends out. And then when you're ready, let's swap it around. So left knee towards the chest, breathe in. Exhale, twist the left knee towards the right. Left hand extends out, left shoulder down. Come back through center. Grab the backs of your legs and roll yourself up. Cross over the feet. Find your way into a kneeling position. Clasp your hands into fists and then roll out your wrists. So as I said before, we're going to have a lot of time on our hands today. So we want to make sure that we strengthen the wrists, we strengthen the forearms and get them nice and active. And that's going to help us just be more warm and ready to go when those moments come. Come down onto your hands. Spread the fingertips wide. Find yourself in a tabletop position and then take some circles here. So shifting the body weight in one direction. And then shifting the weight in the other direction. Come back through center. We're going to try lift the right palm off the ground, but keep the right fingertips down. Lift the left palm off the ground, left fingertips down, right hand comes down, left hand comes down, other way. Left hand lifts, right hand lifts, left hand down, right hand down. Now, if you wanted to, you can come onto your toes, lift the knees off, squeeze the glutes. Maybe take the feet a little bit wider. So right palm can lift, and then the left palm, right palm down, left palm down, other side. So what this is going to do, it's going to strengthen through the wrist a little bit more through the palms. Let's try one more each side. So big squeeze of the glutes, drawing the ribs towards the hips, belly button to spine. Nice. Bring the knees down. We're coming into a kneeling plank situation. Squeeze the knees towards each other and then drop them towards the left side of the mat. Keep the hands on the ground though. Right knee is off the ground. Breathe in. Exhale, lower halfway, chaturanga. As you come up, breathe in, sweep the right hand up and over. And then as you exhale, hand comes down again, chaturanga. Inhale, press up, reach the right hand towards the sky, and then over. Last time, exhale. This time, as you inhale, lift the right knee up as you sweep the arm, and then step it towards the front of the mat. Left knee stays down. Breathe in as you sweep the left hand high, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, drop the hips, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Right hand reaches towards the ground. Left hand comes down, tuck onto the left toes, lift left knee off. Breathe in as you reach the right hand high. As you exhale, option to extend the right leg a little bit longer, not super long. Right hand comes down, step back into your downward facing dog, breathing in. Exhale, press through the hands, drop the heels towards the ground. Inhale, roll yourself back into your plank position. Exhale, lower the knees down, travel the feet towards the right, stack the left knee over the right knee. Breathe in, shift the weight forward, keep the chest towards the ground. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, sweep the left hand back and then around as you lift. Exhale, chaturanga. One more time. The reason why we're doing this is encouraging the twist through the spine, so our obliques have to fire up as well. Left knee comes up, breathe in, lift the knee as high as you can, then step it forward. Left fingertips turn down, breathe in as the right hand sweeps high. Exhale, maybe a little baby back bend here, drop the right hip down. Right hand comes to the ground, tuck right toes, breathe in, lift the knee as you reach the left hand high. As you exhale, option to lengthen the left leg a little bit more. Breathe in, left hand comes down, step back into down dog. Exhale, dropping the heels down, looking in between your toes. Breathe in as you roll forward to your plank position. This time as you exhale, knees or toes, chaturanga, come all the way down to the ground. Untuck the toes. Hands come behind or beside you by your legs. Squeeze the feet together. Try breathe in, squeeze the glutes, lift the feet off, reach the fingertips behind you. Galavasana, locust pose. So you're using the strength of the back body to try and lift you up here, pulling the shoulder blades back. Take one more deep breath in. Exhaling to come down. Hands come by the ribs. Press yourself up onto your knees. Tuck onto the toes, lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. We are going to head into our main flow. We're going to repeat this twice each side. Use your next breath in. Sweep the right toes high. Three-legged dog. Exhale, roll yourself forward. Right knee comes to the elbow, right elbow. Then cross the right foot over the left thigh as you sink yourself back into kind of a figure four downward facing dog. Hips are still pressing high, but the left knee is a little bit more bent than it usually might be. Shoulders down. Start to walk yourself towards the back of the mat. Left heel plants. Drop the hips as you lift the arms out in front of you. Breathe in here. As you exhale, can you sweep the left hand behind you? Try to keep the hips square to the front. Inhale, come forward again. Exhale, right hand sweeps back. Inhale, back forward. As you exhale, unwind to the right foot. Sweep the right toes high, standing splits. Walk yourself forward into your three-legged dog, hands forward. We're going to try scoop the chest through, so coming straight into an upward facing dog. Using your next breath in, elbows come down, through, lift up. This time, as you exhale, tuck onto the right toes. We come into a high side plank. Right heel drops down. Open the left fingertips towards the front of the mat. Left foot might be off the ground, or it can be down. You could stay here. You could lightly tap the left foot behind you, trying to keep the chest twisted towards the left. Use your next breath in, keep the hips lifted as you pull the left knee towards the left elbow. You can also have your right knee down here. When you're ready, look forward. Set the left foot towards the top of the mat. Keep the twist in the spine as you breathe in. Lift the right hand. Option here to reverse your lunge. So left hand down towards the right thigh. Right hand comes up and over. Unwind to warrior two. Inhale, open towards the right side. Exhale, bend the left knee. Shoulders down. Inhale, frame out your front foot. Come high onto the right toes. Exhale, send yourself back. Downward facing dog. Use your next breath and roll yourself forward. As you exhale, option knees or toes, drop the heels towards the right. Twisted chaturanga, come down halfway. Inhale to press back up. Turn the heels to the other side. Exhale, lower half. Inhale, press back up. Other way, knees or toes, remember. Exhale, lower half. Inhale, press back up. One more time. The other side. Exhale, lower half. Inhale, press back up. Come back to neutral. Maybe the knees come down or they can stay lifted. Breathe in. Exhale, your vinyasa. So you might come down to the ground. You might find a baby cobra. You could find your Urdhva Makurasana. You could find your Galavasana, your locust pose. Heading back into our downward facing dog when you are ready. So lots of time on our hands, lots of time to strengthen our upper body because we'll need it when we come into our peak poses. Breathe in, sweep the left toes high, three-legged dog. Exhale, roll forward, left knee to elbow, really press away from the ground. Hook the left foot over the right thigh. Shift the hips back slightly. Funky down dog variation. Press the left knee out a little bit. Start to walk yourself back. Right heel plants, lift the chest, find your balance, hands come forward. Shoulders down, breathe in. Exhale, sweep the right hand behind you. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, other side. Come back through center. Inhale, unwind the legs. Exhale, standing splits at the back of the mat. Draw the left hip down. Walk yourself forward. Look forward. You can bring the right knee down here if that feels better for you, or use your next breath in, elbows bending close, scoop the chest towards the ground as you thread yourself up into Urdhva Makurasana. Exhale, tuck onto the left toes, draw the left heel down as you open into a high side plank, Vashisthasana. Right hand reaching forward, hips are quite high in this position. If you wanted to, right toes might tap towards the back. Keep the heart twisted towards the right though. Use your next breath in. Start to bend the right knee, pull the right elbow towards the knee. Take it wide, look forward, then take a step up with your right foot. Breathe in as you sweep your left hand forward. And then as you exhale, option to reverse. Make your back leg long, draw the left shoulder forward. Warrior two, backstroke the left arm, breathe in. Exhale. Drop into the hips. Hands frame out the front foot, breathe in. Exhale, press back, Ardha Makurasana. You could stay here if that felt better for you, or inhale, roll forward. Drop the heels towards the right. Exhale, lower half. Inhale, press back up. Other side. You'll know that this is kind of the position that we're going to be in for our Parsva Kakasana. So it's also really important that we find what it feels like to be a little bit more, what it feels like to have a little bit more weight in one shoulder compared to the other. Find yourself back in your plank position. You can send it straight back, or you can flow through a vinyasa. Vinyasa being chaturanga, Urdhva Mukha, and then Ardha Makurasana. A little bit confusing, I know. Okay. We're going to do that one more time each side, but we're going to have chances to add on. Breathe in, sweep the right toes high, three-legged dog. Exhale, roll forward, right knee to nose. Press away from the ground, puff up through the back. Right foot crosses over the left thigh. Send yourself back, press through the arms. Right knee draws back. Start to walk your hands behind. Breathe in, lift your arms up. Now you could stay here, or if you wanted to try your Galavasana, which is kind of a crow pose, funky variation, hands are going to come down, spread the fingertips wide, and you're going to bend the elbows back, creating a shelf for your shin to come down. And then once you lean forward, you might stay here, or you might be able to pick up the left foot. Maybe you can extend your left leg away. It requires quite a bit of strength in the back body. Not here for a long time. Land to the left foot. Breathe in as you unwind the foot. Exhale as you kick it up. Walk yourself forward. Eye gaze forward, breathe in. Exhale. Inhale now, roll yourself forward, elbows in. Urdhva Makurasana. Exhale, right toes tuck. High side plank, draw the right hip, right heel down, lift the hips. Almost like you're kind of floating in the air. Light tap of the left toes if you'd like. Use your next breath in, left elbow towards the left knee. Exhale, look forward, twisted lunge. Breathe in, lift yourself up. Exhale to reverse. Before we head into our warrior two, option to take the right arm maybe into a prayer twist. Maybe right hand can come down, left hand come up. Also option to find a bind here. Left hand behind into the right, behind the back to meet the right hip. Maybe the right hand comes underneath. So it's a big internal rotation to try to get the right hand towards the left hand. Unwind the hands. Breathe in, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, drop down. Press through the back toes. Frame out the front foot. Breathe in, tuck onto the right toes. Exhale, send it back. Downward facing dog. You can stay here or roll yourself forward. We're not going to do those twisted chaturangas. I hope you're happy about that. But we'll have an option to play with our Makurasana, our Crocodile Pose. So it's quite a challenging one. You could, different options. Knees can come down, kneeling plank. It's almost like a jumping push-up. So you come down, little hop, little hop, little hop, or maybe you just go down and up. If you wanted to try the full variation, you come to your plank. I'm sure some of you are like, what the heck is going on? You can come to your plank, you come down, and as both your arms and your legs push forward, and you jump forward, and then if you wanted to have a go, you can jump back as well. So you want to kind of launch yourself off the ground, trying to use as less momentum as possible so you're not flailing the spine around. Whew, that's pretty fun. Okay, when we're ready, we will head back into our downward facing dog. Don't worry, we will have time to practice on the other side as well. Okay, take one deep breath in. Exhale. Final sequence, final side. Breathe in, left toes high. Exhale, roll forward, left knee to elbow. Cross the left foot over the right thigh as you send yourself back, drawing the left knee back. And it's important that we open through kind of the hip rotators as well. That will help us with our side crow. Walk yourself back. Okay, and then come up. Now you can stay here, or if you want to try your Galavasana again, hands come down, shoulder width distance. Bend the elbows back, create the shelf. Now the foot hooks around the outside of the tricep and you kind of want to wrap the toes around. Lean yourself forward. Right foot might come up. Stay here or try extend the right foot back. I know I've kind of thrown you in the deep end with that one, but it was just there for a play if you felt ready for it. Unwind the left toes. Breathe in. Exhale, standing splits. Draw the left hip down. Walk yourself forward. Use your next breath in to scoop yourself through. Breathing in. Exhale, left toes tuck. Left heel draws down. High Vashisthasana. Right fingertips along towards the top of the mat. Maybe a light tap of the right toes behind you. Maybe a slight lift of the hips. Use your next breath in, connect the right knee to the right elbow. Exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. Keep the twist. Breathe in, lift the left hand high. Exhale, maybe reverse, draw the right shoulder back. Back leg's long. Left elbow might connect in front of the thigh. Breathe in, maybe prayer twist. Maybe left hand down, right hand high, or right hand can come behind to the back, binding with the left hip. Maybe the left hand comes underneath as well. If you do find them bind, can you push away with the left elbow to open the right shoulder back a bit more? Look over the right shoulder. We unwind, Virabhadrasana 2, breathing in. Exhale. Frame out the front foot, breathe in. Exhale, step it back, down dog. You could stay here or take 2 of our Makurasana. Rolling ourselves forward, breathe in. Maybe on the knees, maybe on the toes. We lower halfway. Take a little hop forward. I find this one so funny. So it's supposed to resonate the crocodile, the little snapping of the jaws. Yeah. And then maybe you go back. Okay, when we're ready, making our way back to downward facing dog. Okay, this is where we get some playtime. Roll yourself down, bring the knees down. Parsva Kakasana. Just a couple of minutes. Shake out your hands first, who've had a lot of time being spent on them. Maybe the backs of the hands pressed towards each other. Let the heart rate drop down. So, how we get into this asana. If you would prefer practicing your normal Kakasana, or if you feel like that's where you want to go today, go for it, my friend. If you wanted to try your Psychro, I'm going to lift the hips up, bend the knees, and we're going to pivot our hands towards the side. Lifting the heels slightly. Now, where you might start is by bringing the hip bone, or the glute part of the meaty part of the glute, and kind of the base of the thigh onto the elbow. So we've got 2 points of connection. You roll forward, maybe the feet lift off, and then you come back. If you wanted a little bit more of a challenging variation, it is just the top of the thigh that is connected, not the hip. And that means you have to be a little bit more lifted. So you might see why we've done those twisted chaturangas. So legs connect to the thigh, lift off, keep the elbows tucking in, lifting the feet, coming down. Now, if you wanted a pretty funky variation of this, you can practice when you're ready, by the way. If you're like, oh, I want to try something a bit different, you want to come down, both of the parts of the body kind of touches down, but then you might try extend your top leg back and your bottom leg out. And then you come back. It's quite a bit of a challenge because we're not in a stable position. There's a lot of load on the shoulders and the wrists, and our center of balance, our center of gravity is off. So just be kind to yourself. When you're ready, you might try the other side. And just know that if you need more time to practice this asana, just feel free to pause the video and practice this. I would recommend taking your hands really wide here. So you want a gripping action with the fingertips, just like your usual Kakasana. You want to be feeling really strong in this position. Kind of lifting the heart towards the sky. Just have one more go if you are still playing. You're going to really scoop the belly in. So create space through the midsection to allow you to have space to move forward. Nice job, everyone. Come down onto your knees. Shake out the hands. Just a couple of asanas to cool us down before we get down on our backs. You could stay here. We could find our Ustrasana, our camel pose, by lifting the hips up. Really great way to counter the flexion that we've just been having with extension with the spine. Hands can come behind the back. Although I know my wrists are pretty tired from that, although this could be a good stretch for them. Elbows tuck in. You want to think about lifting up and then back. If you wanted to go, you could tuck onto the toes. Maybe one hand lifts, maybe both hands come down. And if you want a bit more range, untuck the toes. And we'll take about 5 or 6 breaths in whatever position you are in. So a slight squeeze of the glutes here, trying to draw the shoulder blades back, lifting the heart space up, almost like someone had a piece of string that was tugging your heart towards the sky. When you are ready, just slowly starting to unwind. Cross over the feet. Extend your left leg out in front. Our right foot, a couple of different options. You can bring right foot to inner thigh. Or for a more internal rotation, take the right foot outside. To the outside of the glute. Knees close towards each other. If this brings no pain, and then awesome. If you feel anything sharp, then it's a time to wind out. Try the first option. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold yourself forward. Pulling the left toes back, knowing that you can also have a bend in the left leg as well. Slight tuck of the chin. Can you think about lifting kind of the upper body up and then forward a little bit more? Try one more breath here. And then start to unwind. A couple of different options for where we can go next. We can plant the right foot by our right hip and turn the toes out. So it's quite a challenging position to be in. We are going to take a side bend. You're going to have the option of taking the right foot to the left thigh for a little bit more support. If you've got the right foot out, maybe the left hand clasps around the ankle. Breathe in, sweep the right hand high. Exhale. Keep pressing the right knee behind you as the right hand might reach towards the top of the mat. Maybe it clasps onto your left toes. Keep thinking about pulling the left shoulder underneath, right shoulder back. One more breath. When we're ready, coming back up. Swapping this around, right foot forward, left foot tucks in. Breathe in, lift tall. Exhale, fold forward. So one of the beautiful things about allowing the movement to flow with the breath is that we can find quite a deep flow state. And that flow state allows us to not only find focus, but it also allows us to move energy through the body, through the mind. And often if we find ourselves having destructive thoughts, then we might lose track. And so it requires us to be fully attentive with what we're doing. When you're ready, just start to roll yourself up. Left foot in a position of choice. Right foot slides forward. Maybe right hand comes around the left ankle. Drop the chest towards the right leg. Breathe in as you lift the left hand. Exhale. Can you be active here and really try to rotate that left shoulder back, right shoulder underneath? What happens if you press that left knee out a little bit more? And when we're ready, just starting to unwind. If there are any other asanas that you would like to play with in a seat, then go for it. Otherwise, let's roll down onto our back. Maybe finding a happy baby before we enter Shavasana. So clasping the hands around the outsides of the feet. Drawing the shoulder blades in the direction of the ground. Same with the knees. Maybe a little shift from side to side feels good here. And when you do feel ready, let's find a position where we can find stillness in. So maybe that's legs extended. I will offer the variation of our Supta Baddha Konasana. Feet together, knees slightly wide. This might feel quite intense, and we want to make sure that we can stay here for maybe about 3 minutes, 2 minutes. So adjust as you need. Letting any tension in the face soften. Letting the body become heavy. Surrendering to this moment and just letting the mind be here. And there's no pressure for us to be doing anything or being anyone apart from just breathing in our bodies on our mat. Let's take about 3 of the biggest breaths that we have taken today. And all I ask is that you are fully here with those breaths. And slowly start to wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers. Waking the body up so that we can begin to find our way up into a seated position to close out our practice. Acknowledging yourself today, acknowledging yourself for turning up, maybe let's bring our hands through heart center, taking a deep breath in, holding at the top for a moment, exhaling to let go. Namaste. I thank you so much for practicing with me today. It was so much fun. Oh my goodness, that was also quite challenging as well. And if you have any questions about the practice, let me know. If you've got any feedback or requests, let me know. I love to hear from you guys. And if you wanted to support me a little bit more directly, then feel free to have a check out of our Patreon account. And that is where we post some long form videos that you can access through subscribing to the membership. You don't have to subscribe for forever. You could just subscribe for a month or however long you'd like to have a look at the videos, and yeah, your support is much appreciated. Thank you again.